Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank the Ministry of Defense of Singapore and the International Institute for Strategic Studies for inviting me to attend the 22nd Shangri-La Dialogue. The Shangri-La Dialogue is one of the most prestigious multilateral security forums in the world and the region. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to share my views on ensuring stability in a competitive world, a topic that is very meaningful in the current world context. Distinguished delegates, the world is currently experiencing equal changes. Peace, cooperation, and development remain major trends. Opportunities and challenges are intertwined. Asia-Pacific and the Indian Ocean continue to be dynamically developing regions. The fourth industrial revolution and new breakthroughs in science and technology, especially the AI, are opening up enormous opportunities for developments as well as cooperation in responding to security challenges and global issues. The world is also facing unprecedented difficulties and challenges since the Cold War. Strategic competition among major powers is increasingly fierce, profound, expanding in space and scope, increasing in intensity and confrontation. The risk of armed races and military conflicts is also increasingly tense. The rise of power hegemony ideology and narrow-minded nationalism is challenging international law, and at the same time eroding multilateral institutions and trust in global cooperation. Traditional and non-traditional security challenges are intertwined, increasing the risk of multi-dimensional and multi-forms crises, posing many risks, causing unpredictable consequences for the security and development of affected countries. Conflict hotspots around the world continue to evolve in a complex manner. Meanwhile, non-traditional security challenges are increasingly complex. Climate change, natural disasters, epidemics, resource exhaustion, and population aging, etc., are threatening to reverse efforts to implement the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. A clear demonstration of the severe impacts of natural disasters is the enormous loss of lives and property caused by the earthquake that occurred in late March in Myanmar and Thailand. Let me take this opportunity to express my deepest condolences and trust that with the efforts of the government and people and the joining hands of the international community, the reconstruction of the areas affected by the earthquake will be effectively implemented and the lives of people will soon be stabilized. Vietnam, along with other peace-loving countries in the world, is currently enjoying a peaceful, prosperous, and happy life, confidently moving forward into a new era of prosperous development. However, the reality is that peace and stability are still burning aspirations in many places around the world, areas where conflict and wars have occurred, threatening and taking away human lives and the peace and happiness of the people. Ensuring stability in a competitive world is a prerequisite and indispensable conditions for building a world of peace, stability, cooperation, and development for the common interests of nations and peoples, and at the same time, it is an urgent requirement today. Therefore, to ensure stability in the competitive world, I think we need to pay attention to the followings. First, it is necessary to comply with the basic principles of the UN Charter and international law, comply with commitments, respect the equality, independence, rights, sovereignty, and legitimate interests of nations and peoples, regardless of big or small. Consider it the foundation for dealing with and resolving international disputes and disagreements. On the contrary, unilateral and imposed actions will inevitably lead to the suspicion, contradiction, disagreement, and hinder efforts to cooperate in resolving common security challenges. To maintain international peace and security and develop friendly relations among nations, the UN Charter has clearly defined the basic principles: settling international disputes by peaceful means, renouncing the threat of force or the use of force in international relations. As you know, these are also the basic principles in our independence and self-reliance foreign policy and the foreknows defense policy of Vietnam. Regarding the East Sea, also known as the South China Sea issue, Vietnam consistently and persistently resolved all disagreements by peaceful means in compliance with the 1982 UN UNCLOS 1982, effectively and fully implementing the DOC in the East Sea, wishing to soon build a substantive and effective code of conduct in the East Sea, contributing to maintaining peace and stability, security, safety, freedom of navigation and aviation in the East Sea. Second, there must be goodwill and need for stability to cooperate and develop together. Countries need to have goodwill in their relations and cooperation. Without goodwill, suspicion and misunderstanding can easily arise and simply problems can become complicated. With goodwill, we can turn great issues into important issues into minor issues, and minor issues into no issue. And complex issues can also be openly discussed, satisfactorily negotiated, and simply resolved. This is also the motto of our great President Ho Chi Minh. To gain goodwill, it is necessary to build strengthened strategic and political trust. There must be no suspicion or misunderstanding to avoid the risk of wrong strategic calculations and actions. Thus, we need to be open, frank, sincere, and transparent. I believe that when countries share transparently about defense and policies and guidelines, we will have a trust, goodwill, and complex problems can be solved by peaceful means. Third, strengthen the share of views, constructive dialogue to solve problems, healthy competition, establish and implement effective and practical cooperation mechanisms, both bilaterally and multilaterally. I believe that the Shangri-La Dialogue, the Beijing Sanction Forum, the Moscow Conference on International Security, the Munich Security Conference, and many other security and defense fora in the world are truly strategic fora, creating opportunities for us to share views, exchange, and dialogue, to become closer, more connected, and understand each other better, thereby enhancing trust and more substantive and effective cooperation. As you all know, competition for survival and development is an objective necessity. From a positive perspective, it is a driving force for development. The point is how to compete healthily, respecting mutual interests, not because of strength, weakness, winning, losing, or not because of submission, competing for benefits by besieging, restraining, harming each other. The result is it will inevitably lead to tension, confrontation, conflict, and be difficult to ensure sustainable peace and stability. The world and the region currently have many cooperation mechanisms. In the future, cooperation mechanisms might be expanded and established. The importance is how to harmonize cooperation mechanisms, not to allow conflicts or contradictions between mechanisms, and to ensure that all mechanisms are directed towards the common goal of contributing to promoting cooperation for mutual development, bringing practical benefits to participating parties without harming the legitimate interests of other countries, contributing to building a peaceful, stable, developed, and prosperous world and region. In its foreign policy, Vietnam is always ready to participate in and support mechanisms and be a responsible member for the purpose of maintaining stability, cooperation, and mutual development in the Asia-Pacific region. ASEAN currently plays a central role in the evolving regional security architecture. Vietnam is always committed to promoting its role as a responsible and active member of ASEAN for its legitimate national interests, and at the same time wishes to actively contribute to ensure peace, stability, and common development. Vietnam hopes that countries will support its efforts to promote ASEAN's central role, enhance its capacity for self-reliance, and contribute to peace, security, and prosperity in the region and the world. Fourth, it is necessary to strengthen international cooperation in addressing non-traditional security challenges. In recent years, while traditional security challenges have not been eliminated, and in some places have even become more complicated, non-traditional security challenges are emerging, becoming increasingly complex and unpredictable. We have not able to forget the COVID-19 pandemic and non-traditional security challenges such as natural disasters, epidemics, climate change, etc., which are posing an urgent need for cooperation and joint response from the entire international community. International cooperation in resolving non-traditional security issues also have a positive impact on cooperation in resolving traditional security challenges. Fifth, the Vietnamese MND always has goodwill, desire, and actively and responsibly participate in initiatives and mechanisms for substantive and effective cooperation with the Ministry of Defense and militaries of other countries to promote cooperation and dialogue in the spirit of respecting the rule of law, respecting differences, unity in diversity for stability, peace, and security. Vietnam persistently implements a foreign policy of independence, self-reliance, multilateralization, and diversification of relations, being a reliable friend and partner and a responsible member of the international community, and effectively contributes to the world political posture, the global economy, and human civilization. This year, Vietnam celebrates the 50th anniversary of national reunification and 80th anniversary of National Day. Being a nation that has experienced countless pains and losses to the world more than anyone else, we deeply understand the value of maintaining peace, stability, cooperation, and development. And we honestly wish to work with international community. And let us do everything we can do today with the desire to leave future generations not only a better world, but also faith and admiration for the sense of responsibility and wisdom of today's generations. Thank you very much for the kind attention.
General Giang, and in particular,